here I want to tell something about my NGO. I am basically a professional social worker. I have done my master's, then MPhil and PhD in social work itself. Vaishali is sitting here. I have started my NGO while sitting under a tree, a place near the temple, and I have realized that in this 21st century, a huge population needs NGOs and my organization Sampurna. In Sampurna, we are basically working with the adolescent girls on health, education and self-employment training programs. And these programs we call community-based programs. And by doing these programs, we start our work in the morning, 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock in very shanty slums. And we do our specialized programs also, like CIC, Crisis Intervention Center, and FCC, Family Counseling Center. And friends, you people too have reached this position after doing lot of work. But with the grace of God, you must have got the opportunities. But it is a fact, and everybody knows it, that 125 crore of our population never gets the opportunity. And NGOs are doing that. When I go to slum and I meet a woman who has 4 children, 5 children, and her husband is a rickshaw puller, and she too wants to lead a happy life, because now everybody has got that TV and they know where the women have reached, and she too wants to fly, but she has no means. She too wants to get some opportunity. And friends, after giving a lot of skills, ultimately she needs money. Whenever we go to her, she says, okay, it's fine. You are giving this training, this training, this training. But ultimately I want to earn. I want to earn for my children. I want a healthy life. I too want a healthy life as other women want. And I'm very thankful to Archana. When I discussed this, she told me that you go to the field, you do your groundwork, and try to find out what is ultimately needed. And friends, I realized that this 10th passed women want to earn. And within, 7 or 8 days, I have got so many forms, so many applications that we want to do something. And the criteria was the girl or the woman should be of 5 feet 2 inches and more than 45 kg weight. And it was very difficult. I thought it is very easy, because when I am saying that after doing the training, you will get this opportunity, you can earn 8,000 to 10,000. It is very easy. But really, friends, in all my 10 centers, my volunteers went to house through our mechanism, and it was very surprising that these girls were not 5 feet 2 inches. And most of them were below 45 kg. It again shows the malnutrition among them. Because we all know, if the child is not properly fed or not is properly given care and protection at the age of 0 to 6, he or she is never able to learn the language or the personality or the height or the weight one should have. But luckily, I went to everywhere, my volunteers went everywhere, and now we have the batch of 25 candidates, and very soon we are going to start one of the training, and it is 30-day trainings. I again want to request Archana ji that all my volunteers, all these applicants were saying that 30 days is quite a long time because they are from very poor background and they cannot afford 30 days coming every day. So if it is possible, they can spare more hours, and if you need 2 hours, they can spare 4 hours, but it should be, if it is possible, it is 15 days or 20 days. And with the Archana as president, I hope in coming days we will have more programs, more projects, and we can provide more opportunities to the most needed women, those who really need us, those who really need fruit. Thank you. Thank you, Archana.
Thank you very much. 5 women for security guards, and they've given specifications. Shobhaji has put together a team, and we hope to begin the training immediately.
Thank you.
I think with all our partners, we will reach and maybe exceed our expectations, not only in Delhi, but pan-India, where we have been promised all the support in all the 15 sectors. We have to take a pledge, Ashna ji, and may I request all of you to kindly stand up, and Archana, our president, would read out the pledge. It's a very small pledge. When she reads out, you'll understand.
So, we requested all our partners to take this pledge. I will just read it out. We hereby and time towards the cause of increasing and sustaining employment of women in traditional and non-traditional roles in the educational sector. We pledge to foster a nation where the advancement of women and girl children will be a national priority and where their contributions will be nurtured and recognized in India and across the world.
Carry the pledge back with them, which we've already circulated, and you can take a copy of that, and they can put your signature and keep it with you. Of course, we have a pledge board outside. After we finish the program, I request all of you to definitely put your signatures on the pledge board, which is outside this room also. We have time for a couple of questions and answers, about 5 to 7. And may I request any one of you, if you would like to make even an observation from our partners, or a suggestion, which we'll be very happy to take it on board after hearing all of us speak.
I would also like to welcome Mrs. Rashmi Singh. She's been working in the field of women's empowerment, and especially she set up Stree Shakti, which is a women's canteen training and a canteen management team.
Besides other non-traditional besides many other non-traditional ways of life.
Absolutely. So any questions, any observations?
I loved your whole concept, and it's something which is actually missing. And it's a great effort by all of you, and I'm very proud to be a part of this probably conference today. I would really like to know, how do we take it from here? As a school, I would love to have my drivers who are the ladies. It's a very important part of the whole school system. With the children out of the school and out of the control of the school. And if how do we take it from here? I mean, this is a very nice forum, we've all met, but what is the next step?
See, the drivers are the toughest, the longest training period of all these jobs that we've identified. I think the security guards you can do quite fast, even the bus conductors and administrative staff. For the drivers, currently the Delhi government has a regulation that you need to have 5 years experience in heavy training. So there are already a number of women with Sakha who already have your light motor vehicle licenses. We'll be training them for the heavy licenses, and then we are encouraging private bus operators to employ them on the bus. But I think the Delhi government is bringing in a regulation to change it down to 3 years. So for the drivers, I think we would have to wait for those 3 years until the rule changes. And we've set up, we have here Automobile Association, I think Mr. Malhotra is there, he is very kindly offered that, you know, to give training to women drivers initially when they get their initial licenses. It's very difficult for them to get jobs. He has offered, Automobile Association maintains a panel of drivers which they offer for their members. He has offered to impanel those, test them and impanel them so that they get very regular practice. So then the drivers that you get would be very experienced. Besides heavy, if you have light motor vehicles or you have vans, for that you can possibly get, already Sakha has a number of women drivers who have light motor vehicle licenses. So that we can start off immediately. We can circulate, possibly in collaboration with Sakha, and we can circulate a list of women drivers, you know, which you can then forward maybe to your bus companies. Because we have spoken to your bus companies, some of them have come. So if you ask them, I'm sure they will take that into consideration. Thank you.
Delhi government person also, Mr.
Yes, hi, good evening. My name is Gauri Grover, and I'd just like to take a moment to express, our sentiment on this wonderful initiative. So I represent Securitas in India here, and we are a security service providing, one of the leading organizations which provide security services in the country. So we've got 25,000 people presently, and I'd like to share my thought on this subject. You know, traditionally security has been a space which has been male dominated. And we as an organization, we are very keen in driving gender diversity, in manpower, in security personnel that we deploy in various parts of the country. So I see a great opportunity here, I'm also a mother of a 5-year-old. So I know the sentiment and I know the concerns, in providing safety, and none better than leaving a child with a woman, with a lady at school. It's mentally it's such a relief, and it's a great thought, at the moment I think about it. So even for women employees, schools is a safe environment, and I think it's a win-win initiative. So we are committed to the cause, and even for school personnel who are representing schools over here, we can go over our website, or we can connect at any point in time in providing security personnel, lady guards, and we will take care of the training and any other behavioral training aspects that you like to take it from here. So we committed to the cause, and that's what I like to express here. Thank you for giving me time.
We also have, from the Delhi government, we've spoken to the NDMC, and they have also decided to have women security guards in their schools.
Right.
So that will be a huge, number of women security guards which will be
That's
required.
great. That's great. Thanks.
This one. Yeah. Hello, I represent Red Roses Public School, Palam Vihar in Gurgaon. We've recently started this school, and I would just like to share a small experience with all of you regarding women empowerment that we're talking about today. 2 years back, a lady approached me for an Aya's job, a helper's job in my school, and while talking to her, I realized that she had already enrolled herself for appearing for class 10 examinations in NIOS, that is Open University, we all know. And we all in the school decided to help her study and get her class 10 certificate. She got that, and after that we sent her for the conductor's training and the first aid training that this transport department they provide, yeah. And so now she is a full-fledged conductor in my bus. Just wanted to share. Thank you very much.
If I may ask a question over here, really quick. Is there a website or a place where you can get a list of people who are employable today? Because as somebody who is looking at hiring, I'd be very keen to have access to a list, because if they're equally trained, equally compatible, certainly everybody over here who's looking at hiring, I think, would go in that direction. It's hard to come across skilled people. We need to put newspaper ads out, whether it's men or women. But if there is a website, if there is a list, whether it's drivers, conductors, whether it's Malis, because we employ a lot of Malis in our schools, whether it is with the housekeeping department for our hostels, I'd be very happy to sort of access that, and if you can give it, I'd be happy to take the details down.
We will create a list and we will circulate it to all of you.
Yeah, that's
So all the
exactly
people
what
that we're
I
saying
too
will be
was going
putting
to
on
ask
this
for.
list.
I represent the Salabula group of schools, and you will be happy to know that we already have more than 14 marshals who are all ladies in the school. They are all the security guards, and we're trying to increase even more. But yes, this is what a good suggestion from him, and this is what we actually require, that either you mail it, since you have our school addresses now with you. Anyone who's willing to join in as a bus driver or even the van drivers, we would like to have their contact so that we are able to get in touch with them.
That
Thank
is
you.
wonderful, because any kind of skilling initiative we take, we like to tie up the employment before we skill the women. So that would be a great support from the schools. Maruti is willing to conduct the conductor batch training. I think we will, as soon as we get together a batch, we will start that and we will circulate the names to you. We would be very grateful if you picked up the women. If I may say, how about your website, where you have a website and you have a page saying ready for placement? If you say ready for placement, you have drivers and others. So if you create a page, just say ready for placement, and that means, and they can be informed it's updated. That means you could visit the FICCI or the Flow website saying ready for placement, drivers, and whichever, security, whatever. Great, just that's a wonderful suggestion. I think we should certainly, for all our skilling initiatives, we should take this up.
Know that if there are any young girls who want to take training, how can they get in touch with you?
They should just write in at flow@ficki.com.
Okay.
Got the invites from there, so if you can come back to us at flow@ficki.com,
Yeah.
it'll be very useful.
We'll be very great. If there are any girls who would like to train for these jobs, please let them contact us. We'll screen them and certainly put them.
Are there any
Absolutely.
basic criteria? So the minimum age?
Well,
Yes, they are, because there are different kind of jobs, they'll have a different criteria. But if you do right, because it's very tough to talk about here one-to-one, but maybe if you have a certain set of girls who are wanting to do something, if you send it to us, we can see in which criteria they could fit. Because there are a lot of skilling activities which we are doing, which we're not talking of right here. So maybe they could fit into one, which has not been discussed. We have with us a representative from the NSDC also, who is here. And I think we are going to be working with them also, so we will definitely have a lot of venues open. Like Archana mentioned, we've tied up with corporates and